Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine a world where, the voice assistant in your car doesn't just sort of stumble through commands,
Right.
but actually gets complex requests, maybe anticipates what you need, makes your drive easier,
Uh-huh.
or picture ordering coffee at the drive-thru, and it's just this smooth, AI-powered thing.
Yeah, seamless.
We're basically talking about a company that's quietly making this stuff happen.
Yeah.
And, well, their latest numbers are as interesting as the tech itself.
What's really intriguing here, I think, is how fast a company like SoundHound is taking a clear market opportunity and turning it into actual applications people use.
Real-world stuff.
Exactly. And serious revenue growth. If you zoom out a bit, it just highlights how quickly voice AI is weaving itself into our lives. Sometimes we don't even notice it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why today we're doing a deep dive into SoundHound AI. That's ticker SOUN.
Mm-hmm.
Their stock's seen a pretty significant jump recently, just in the last month, actually,
Mm.
really boosted by some stellar earnings. So our mission today is to kind of pull back the curtain on what's driving these numbers. We'll look at the huge market for speech recognition, SoundHound's impressive customer list, and what all this fast growth means for the future of AI and ultimately for you.
Okay.
And just so you know, our insights today, they're mainly coming from a recent Motley Fool article. It's called SoundHound AI's Soaring Revenue and Future Prospects, published August 14th, 2025.
Yeah, and it's clear that this whole market for speech recognition has just, blown up. You see it obviously in cars, drive-thrus, retail, customer service.
Yeah.
Those are some of the big visible ones.
Mm-hmm.
But the recent tech leaps are really pushing the envelope on what we thought voice interaction could even do.
And it's not just simple commands now, is it? Especially thinking about cars. I mean, remember saying play music and hoping it didn't call your boss?
Yeah, definitely been there.
But now we're looking at tech that allows for really complex stuff.
Right.
Like imagine asking your car, hey, find me the best rated Italian place within 5 miles of my route home. Oh, and make sure it has patio seating.
Right, that level of nuance.
Exactly. That kind of understanding, it totally changes how we use tech in the car. It goes from being, maybe frustrating sometimes, to being genuinely helpful, almost like a co-pilot. And that kind of reliability, that's what gets everyone using it.
And this same core AI, it's not just for cars. It's poised to completely change how drive-thrus and customer service centers work. Think about cutting down dramatically the need for humans in those routine tasks.
Big savings there.
It's not just a small tweak, it's a potential game changer for business costs. Huge efficiency gains. Honestly, companies almost can't afford not to look at this if they want to stay competitive.
So let's talk about the market size then, because the numbers seem, well, they seem all over the place. Statista, for instance, puts it at maybe $16 billion by 2030.
Okay.
But then you see other research firms saying the total market could be way bigger, like over $140 billion. That's a massive difference.
It is.
Why such a huge range? How should you interpret that gap?
That's a really good question. The difference usually boils down to how wide you cast the net when defining the addressable market.
Ah, okay.
So the lower numbers might be focused very strictly on, say, traditional voice assistant functions, commands, basic Q&A.
Got it.
Whereas the higher figures, they're likely looking at the whole potential spectrum. Things like AI for training, which we can talk about, data analytics from voice interactions, custom solutions for big companies. A lot of that is still pretty new.
Right. Emerging stuff.
Exactly. So for you listening, the key takeaway is probably that even the conservative number shows really solid growth ahead, the bigger number. It suggests some market that could be truly explosive, transformative. Either way, the trend for voice AI is definitely pointing up.
Okay, that makes sense. So building on that, how is SoundHound actually going about capturing this market? Are they just, signing deals on paper, or is this stuff actually getting rolled out?
Their customer list is impressive already. Stellantis, Hyundai, White Castle, Jersey Mike's. Big names. Yeah, and that's where their recent performance really tells a story. It's not just the number of customers, although that's growing. It's the depth of how they're getting in and expanding within those clients.
Okay, so more than just landing the initial deal.
Precisely. In Q2 2025 alone, this is the recent report, they landed new deals with places like Red Lobster, Applebee's, IHOP, plus a big Chinese car brand.
Wow.
But crucially, they also expanded their work with existing clients like Chipotle and Firehouse Subs. So it's not just signing logos. SoundHound's tech is now running in over 10,000 restaurant locations.
5,000, that's real deployment. That's scale.
That scale, it shows it's working in the real world reliably.
And you can see that directly in The money, right? The
Yeah,
revenue.
absolutely. They reported, get this, 217% year-over-year sales growth in Q2 2025.
217%.
Yeah, jumped from $13.5 million to $42.7 million in the quarter. And what's really notable is that the growth rate itself is picking up speed.
Accelerating.
Yeah, Q1 growth was 151% year over year, which was already, pretty exciting.
Right.
But Q2 just blew past that. It really shows how these partnerships and getting deeply integrated into how businesses operate are just as vital as the AI itself if you want to scale up in this market.
They're becoming embedded, not just a vendor.
Exactly, part of the operational fabric.
So what does this suggest for what comes next? I mean, beyond the obvious places like cars and restaurants,
Yeah.
where else is this tech heading? You mentioned emerging markets.
Yeah, definitely. We're talking smart homes, financial services are a big potential area, smart TVs, entertainment systems, even healthcare. But one area that's maybe less obvious but really interesting for businesses is employee training.
Employee training. How does voice AI fit in there?
Well, think about it. Using AI for training could be a huge time and money saver. Imagine a new hire, right? Day one. Instead of just wading through manuals, they could instantly ask for step-by-step instructions on a complex task, or look up specific company policies just by asking.
Okay, like an interactive handbook.
Exactly. Or even get real-time coaching from an AI on, say, customer service best practices or the features of a new product they need to sell. It just transforms onboarding and ongoing learning.
Yeah, I can see that. Personalized, on demand, efficient.
Hugely efficient.
That is powerful. Okay, let's take another one you mentioned, financial services. How might voice AI change how we deal with our banks or, I don't know, manage investments? Beyond just asking for your balance, I mean.
Oh, the potential there is massive.
No.
Think about a future where you can just talk to your smart speaker or your banking app to handle your whole financial life.
Like?
Checking balances, sure, but also setting up transfers, paying bills, maybe even making investment moves, all verified securely by your voice.
Voice biometrics.
Right, and it goes beyond just transactions. Imagine getting sophisticated financial advice, personalized service available anytime, 204/7, just through conversation.
That level of convenience.
Ah.
Wow, we're just scratching the surface there, feels like.
Absolutely. Early days, but the potential is definitely there.
Now, we should touch on the financials again, just for a balanced picture. Because with this kind of crazy growth, it's important to see everything. SoundHound is expanding revenue fast, but they're not profitable yet, right? They're losing cash.
That's correct. They're currently burning cash from operations. It's not unusual for smaller, high-growth tech companies, especially when they're investing heavily in R&D and sales to capture market share.
Okay.
But it does mean they're raising money to fund that growth, and they're doing that by selling more shares of stock.
Which dilutes existing shareholders.
Exactly. It means each existing share represents a slightly smaller piece of the company. Not ideal in the short term, maybe, but it's often seen as a necessary step for companies at this stage. The goal, strategically, is to scale revenue to the point where they become cash flow positive.
Right, fund themselves internally.
Yeah.
And speaking of valuation, the stock's trading pretty high, right? Something like 46 times its sales over the last year.
That's the number, yeah. 46 times trailing 12-month sales.
Which sounds steep. But you mentioned their guidance for 2025 if they hit the top end, about $178 million in revenue. That multiple drops to around 36 times sales.
Correct. Still high, but moving in the right direction if they hit those targets.
So given that high valuation and the need to dilute shares right now, what's the typical sort of runway? How long before a company like this might be expected to turn cash flow positive? And what are the signs we should look for?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? There's no set clock. But generally, investors look for a few key things. Sustained, strong revenue growth, ideally still accelerating or at least maintaining a high rate.
Okay.
Improving gross margins, meaning they're making more profit on each dollar of sales before operating costs. And crucially, a slowing cash burn rate.
The losses should be shrinking relative to revenue.
Exactly. For SoundHound specifically, milestones would be consistently beating their own revenue guidance, landing more of those big multi-year enterprise contracts, and showing clear operating leverage where revenue grows much faster than their expenses. Eventually, that cash from operations number needs to flip from negative to positive.
Got it. So for now, it's really all about capturing that market share.
That seems to be the primary focus, yes. aggressive growth.
Okay, let's maybe recap some of the key takeaways from this deep dive. We've definitely seen the impressive scale of SoundHound AI's recent success. That 217% year-over-year sales growth in Q2 2025 is pretty hard to ignore.
Definitely eye popper.
We've also talked about the huge market opportunity for voice AI. It ranges, depending on how you measure it, from a solid $16 billion to maybe a game-changing $140 billion plus by 2030. Lots of room to grow there.
Significant runway.
And we highlighted SoundHound's specific wins, getting into big auto and restaurant chains, expanding those deals, and bringing really powerful applications to life, from complex commands in your car to AI helping train employees.
And it's also really important to remember those financial nuances we just discussed.
Right.
While the top-line growth is explosive, SoundHound isn't profitable yet. They are diluting shares to fund that growth. That's a common reality for fast-growing tech. But something to keep in mind, especially with the current valuation, 46 times trailing sales, may be dropping to 36 based on guidance.
Absolutely.
Right.
And ultimately, understanding companies like SoundHound isn't just about whether you should buy the stock or not. It's about seeing how this voice AI technology is fundamentally changing how we interact with, well, everything.
Yeah.
Technology, businesses.
Yeah.
It impacts how you order coffee, how companies train their people, how you might manage your money down the line. It's becoming pervasive.
So the big question this leaves us with, maybe for you to think about, is what does this all mean for you? As voice AI gets woven even deeper into our lives, smart homes, finance, healthcare, like we talked about, how could it fundamentally change the way you learn or work or just get through your day?
It's a good thought.
And it raises another question, too. What's the next big frontier for voice AI? What new possibilities open up when this tech becomes truly, truly ubiquitous? What comes after the drive-thru and the car commands?